What's up guys, this is Jeff from Sorta Healthy, and this is Alexis from Sorta Healthy, and today we are taking you through a mostly upper body, but also core workout, and we got a few things to work around today. Alexis actually does have a shoulder injury on her left side. It's nothing too serious, but it is enough to just change the way that we're gonna be structuring today's workout. So Alexis is 31 years old. Her main goal is to lose a little bit of weight, just get a little bit leaner. She does also want to get stronger. So today's workout is going to be a good example of a workout that she would do with a client with those goals, but also has a minor shoulder injury. So we're not actually going to be showing you a full workout today, but we're going to be showing you at least half of a workout. And in today's workout, everything is also going to be supersetted because that just keeps things flowing along nicely and breaks up the workout, making it a little bit more interesting for your client. Okay, so we're going to start off by warming Alexis up, and we're going to start that off with foam rolling. So she's doing a few passes on her middle and upper back. We don't really want to foam roll the lower back. You have some important organs down there that we don't want to crush. That would be bad. But if she feels a tight spot or an area that she feels needs a little bit of extra work, she can hang out on that spot for a few seconds, like that one for instance. And after she does a few passes like that, I'm gonna have her do a few passes with her arms extended up like that. And that potentially just allows us to get a little bit deeper into some of the muscle tissue back here. This is a really good way to warm your clients up for an upper body workout because Alexis's thoracic mobility is not that good. Her posture, meh. This can temporarily help with some of that stuff, so it's just good to get everything moving in the right direction. Hey, what are you guys doing back there? While you're there though, if you wouldn't mind liking the video and subscribing to the channel, because both of those things do really help the channel to grow, and we both really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, so next up we're doing a pec stretch, and we're doing this because again, Alexis is kind of locked into a little bit of a kyphotic position, about 15 seconds per side, so let's have you flip around to the other side. Ooh, that side's not moving as well, huh? That's the side that bothers you. So you can see a clear difference between her ability to move her arm back in this position versus the other side. Where do you feel that stretch, Alexis?
Here, most section.
Do you feel it in your pecs at all? Yeah. Okay, let's flip around to the other side again. Again, we're not spending a ton of time, but it's definitely not a bad thing to try and loosen this up just a little bit before you hit some of these upper body movements. Exactly. Is that painful?
No, it's tight.
This is why Alexis is actually the perfect person to show you guys some techniques to work with. Again, someone who wants to get stronger, but also has some shoulder issues. So the last thing we're doing here are just some arm circles and some hugs. We're switching between the two, as you can see. Again, just trying to get the shoulders all warmed up, everything fired up. The size of the arm circles doesn't matter. Direction doesn't matter. Just have your client, again, get everything fired up. Some good hugs, and then shoulder blade retractions, also really good. Once we do that for 30 seconds or so, we're good to go. So our first actual exercise is the band pull apart or the reverse fly, whichever you want to call it. So she's grabbing that band about shoulder width apart, and normally I wouldn't be standing this close to her, but I do need to be in frame here. But that looks good. We're looking for 15 reps, that's 3 so far. Very simple move, literally just trying to pull that band apart. The further apart her grip is, the easier the move is. Again, she's trying to bring her shoulder blades together. So we're just retracting those shoulder blades. Feels kind of good, actually, right? You wouldn't lie to us, would you? And last 2 here. All right, guys, next up we have bar push-ups. So again, this would be a little too easy for Alexis in real life, but we're pretending she's a slightly less advanced version of herself. So the lower this bar goes, the more similar to an actual push-up off of the ground the movement is. Today this bar is at a height of 10, and that's not a super difficult setting to start things off with, but I don't know how Alexis's shoulder is gonna respond to this move, so I actually think that's a really good place for us to start out. Make sure that her chest is hitting the bar in the right place, because a lot of people will try and do these bar push-ups, and they'll aim their neck at the bar, which of course we do not want that. How do those feel so far, Alexis? Any shoulder discomfort with that?
No.
Okay. Pushing movements are the ones to be careful of. We're looking for 15 reps here, by the way. And all set there. There you are, Alexis. The only difference with round 2 is I'm gonna have you start at a high angle and move to a low angle. Now, normally I would show this, but she knows what to do. We're starting high, a little bit above her head, and she's gonna pull at a downward angle down towards her chest. And the reason we're doing that is because it targets a little bit lower with the traps, and that's good because that area is not typically strong enough on most people. Usually we're very much upper trap dominant, so we do want those lower traps to activate. That's looking good so far. How does that feel, Alexis? Easy, medium, hard?
Medium.
Okay, so we're looking for 15 reps here, and last one. Very good. We're moving on to round 2 of bar push-ups. And like I mentioned briefly in round 1, pushing movements, especially overhead, but even horizontal pushing like we're doing here on the bar push-up, these are the ones to really be careful of with your clients who have shoulder issues. That being said, during round 1 of the push-ups, Alexis felt pretty good, so no issues here. And let's get round 2 started whenever you're ready, Alexis. I'm just kind of making sure this bar is staying in place. Sometimes people are a little spastic the first few times they do this, and the bar will kind of move around a little bit. Again, all you need to do these is squat rack, and what you'd want to do is gradually over time lower the bar. It's just a really good way to help your client get good at doing push-ups. And we are shooting for 15 reps. You're a new client. We're in kind of a moderate rep range. She's looking good. How's it feeling, Alexis? Easy, medium, or hard?
Medium.
Medium is good. That's generally what we want. And we just need 3 more reps here. 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Up next, we have cable rows, and obviously you could do this move with a dumbbell. You could do this move with a band. Cable machine just happens to be a simple, effective way to do it. We can do both arms at once, which is also good for saving some time. Okay, so Alexis is gonna get started here. She's keeping good posture, chest up nice and tall. She's gonna pull both sides back, pinching those shoulder blades together and back. We are aiming for 15 reps here. Alexis, how does that weight feel? Light, medium, heavy?
Medium.
Medium, okay. She's making my job really easy today. Everything feels medium. Well, if it felt light, basically in round 2, I'm gonna throw an extra 5, maybe even 10 pounds on each side. But generally speaking, medium, especially with a new client, is good. Light, medium, also pretty good. Last 2 reps here, and all set there, Alexis. Nice work. Next we have pal-off press, and pal-off press is actually a really good exercise because we're working a whole bunch of different things at once. It's actually mainly a core exercise, but her upper body, even her lower body is gonna be fairly active during this movement. So essentially what she wants to do is take about a step out, get a little tension on that line, and then she wants to, while squeezing her glutes tight, engaging her core, keeping everything tight, she's just going to extend her arms straight ahead, hold for about a second, and then come right back. She should feel that basically everywhere. Do you feel it basically everywhere? Mm-hmm. Okay. How does that weight feel?
Good.
Good, so kind of tough, but not brutally tough. Mm-hmm. Where do you feel it the most?
My obliques.
Okay, most people don't know what obliques are.
My sides.
In her sides, okay. So this is a good time to ask a question like that because the pal-off press, if someone's not properly engaging their core, they could feel it somewhere like their lower back, and we don't want that. And last rep, good. Same thing on the opposite side. We have to do this move on both sides, of course. Sometimes people will kind of veer the cable off to the side, and if they do that, essentially they're kind of letting the cable machine win. We don't want that. They want that thing coming straight ahead. We just need 2 more reps here, Alexis. One last one. Good. Okay, so we're moving on to round 2 of cable rows. I like a 2-to-1 ratio typically, so if I'm doing push-ups, I'm gonna be doing rows and another pulling move, a face pull, for instance. Anyway, let's get started with round 2 of our cable rows. The weight felt good, so we're gonna keep the same weight. You can start whenever you're ready, Alexis. We're looking at 15 reps. Ooh, she's getting a little fatigue here. And we just need 2 more reps here. Nice. I've said in previous videos, guys, don't count all the reps out loud, but it is good to give your client like a 3, 2, 1 countdown for those last few reps. Most people are going to appreciate that. Okay, so we're moving on to round 2 of the pal-off press. The weight was pretty good in round 1. We're looking for 15 reps here per side, trying to aim for medium difficulty for most of these movements. And where are you feeling this one the most this time around, Alexis?
My core.
In her core. Okay, that's good. You don't have to ask that question every single time, but with a move like the Palloff press, like we mentioned in round 1, good to ask that some of the time. Good, switching sides. I've said it in previous videos, but I think it's also important to insert a small amount of small talk into sessions. Don't let it interfere with the workout, but ask your client how their day has been going or what they have going on for the weekend or something similar. This helps to build a connection. Okay guys, up next we have face pulls. This is a version that I actually saw Jeff Cavalier, Athlean X, do like a few years ago, and I think it's the best version of the movement. And you want face pulls in your routines, and you definitely want them in clients' routines who have shoulder issues, but really just anybody. We should all be doing face pulls. So essentially what you're gonna do is you're gonna come up underneath, you're gonna grab that rope kind of like that. So you're gonna grab with an underhand, externally rotated grip. And Alexis is gonna take a step or two back. She's gonna pull that thing right towards her nose, flaring out her hands. She's gonna hold back there for about a second, and it's gonna come right back. We don't want heavy weight on this one, guys. Also looking for 15 slow and controlled reps. Where do you feel this one the most? Backside of your shoulders? Just 2 more. One last one. Good. Okay, so we're moving on to Russian twists. I like Russian twists. It's actually just a good little simple core exercise. We're hitting the obliques, hitting things dead center. We're just using a 5-pound kettlebell here. We're going for the harder version today because why not? So Alexis is gonna lift her feet up and she's gonna lean back. The farther back you lean here, the tougher it is, honestly. We're gonna start here in 3, 2, 1, and go. So we're doing this for 30 seconds. I generally keep my ab moves pretty simple. Most of them you can just do for time. Let's say you weren't able to do the full 30 seconds with your feet up. What would you do, Alexis? That's right. That's what you'd do. You'd finish up with your feet down. Give your clients that option. You know, you can always modify the movement as you're going. Oh, she came back. And 3, 2, 1. Nice. All right, so we're moving on to round 2 of face pulls. She felt it in all the right spots in round 1, upper back, backside of the shoulders, rhomboids, you name it, all the good spots. Anyway, we're gonna keep the same weight. It seemed like it was pretty good for her. You can start whenever you're ready, Alexis. Good, she's externally rotating. She has that kind of like, I guess what we'd call it like an underhand grip as opposed to an overhand grip, which is what we want, generally speaking. We're looking at 15 reps here. Normally I wouldn't be this awkwardly close, but hey, here we are. Do it for the content. 2, 1, nice. All right, so we're gonna start here with the Russian twist. She's gonna start feet up. She's gonna put her feet down as we're going if she needs to. We're going 30 seconds. We're gonna start here in 3, 2, 1, and go. Bro, you keep jumping the gun. That's extra time for you, man. She's that confident in her abilities. 3, 2, 1. Good job. Our last move is a plank, and we like to end a lot of different workouts with planks because it's just a good overall finishing move. Hits a little bit of everything. For an average client who's not super fit, it's a pretty challenging move. That might not be the case with some of your more advanced clients, but again, you're not very advanced today anyways. We're gonna go for as long as you can with good form. Off your elbows and forearms, your back needs to be nice and flat. Your abs need to be nice and tight. You're not actually going for as long as you can. That'd be super boring, guys. I'm pretty sure all of you would stop watching the video, or maybe not. Maybe that'd be cool to see. But I'm pretty sure you'd be very pissed at me when we got home. So we're not gonna do a plank for as long as she can. We'll do one for about 30 seconds. Her back is nice and flat. Let's say her back was a little too high. Raise your back up. Okay. A lot of clients are gonna do that. If they do that, just tell them to lower their butt. If they're too low, that's even worse, like that, because now her lower back is taking on a whole bunch of things that it shouldn't. So we're always trying to find that Goldilocks zone. And again, normally I like to wrap a workout up with a plank because again, it just hits a little bit of everything. And you're good there. That was like 40 something seconds. Were you fatigued from that? Okay, that's good. So our session is done and now we're just moving on to a few stretches. And in our previous session videos, they've been kind of more lower body stretches. Today, since we did primarily upper body work, we're gonna be doing things a little bit differently. So the first thing I want you to do, Alexis, is clasp your hands behind the back of your head and interlace your fingers. Good, so essentially all I'm gonna do here is I'm putting my knee right between her shoulder blades, not with much force at all. And I'm just pulling both of her arms back here. Do not let me hurt you, Alexis, but tell me when it feels like you have a good stretch. What about there? So people generally really like some of these stretches, and yeah, it just helps out with a whole bunch of different things that she has going on in the shoulder, the upper back, good posturally as well. But I cannot emphasize enough, be very gentle with any stretching like this. Do not hurt your client, of course, and always ask for their feedback. That's good. You also only want to hold each stretch for about 30 or so seconds. You know, you can play it, you take it on a case-by-case basis. Next thing I'm gonna have you do, Alexis, is clasp your hands behind your back and pull everything down and away. And essentially all I'm doing here is very lightly, even kind of rolling her shoulders, even just a little bit further back. Maintain your head a little bit more upright. There we go. We're trying to stretch out the pecs. We're trying to get some good shoulder blade retraction. And again, I'm just providing a little bit of a external force here. Should feel actually pretty good. Good. And the same thing, we're just gonna kind of hold it for about 20 to 30 seconds, loosening things up a little bit more. And we're good. Last thing we're gonna do, this is more of a bonus thing. You certainly don't have to do this. I just happen to have a massage gun lying around. We got a whole bunch of these things in the studio. And again, Alexis is someone who does legitimately experience shoulder, neck, and back pain. And sometimes a workout can, even though it's helping, kind of set that off just a little bit. So essentially all we're gonna do is we're just doing some light massage work in her upper traps. Nothing crazy, but let me tell you, these little stretches, and if you incorporate a very tiny amount of massage gun work, it can go a long way. Your clients are really gonna like that. A few things to avoid would be their spine. You don't want to massage gun their spine, so make sure you're staying on the traps primarily, but also the rhomboids. Do not hit the shoulder blade itself. You can focus on the delts a little bit as well. I'm probably only spending about 20 seconds per side, so I might even spend less time than I'm spending here right now, but it's just a good way to calm all of this stuff down a little bit more. If you don't have a massage gun, you can buy them online for basically nothing now. Cheap ones are generally fine. But again, that's all bonus stuff. You don't have to do any of that stuff. And that's all we have for today, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel, because both of those things do help the channel to grow. Until next time, stay Sorta Healthy.